Okay, it's here, the Walk the Dog letter. I got my hands on it, and this is the letter that was read today in court by Detective O'Driscoll. So we've got it here. We can break it down and we can decide together. Do we think that this is part of a book that Kouri claimed to be working on while she was in her jail cell? Or is it in fact a letter that Kouri was writing to her mom explaining how she should coach her brother to answer questions and possibly testify on how Eric obtained the drugs that later killed him? So we can break it down here and go through it. So let's get started. Page 1 of Walk the Dog, but take vague notes so you remember. Sky was her previous attorney. That's who she's referring to here. Sky is saying, even if, underline, the gummies have fentanyl in them, the prosecutor will say I tried to put the fentanyl in the gummies so Eric would have them. Stupid, I know, but that's what she's thinking. We will still test them though. However, she wants to link Eric getting drugs and pills from Mexico, so we need some kind of connection. Her private investigator is doing some research on the ranch cartel place Eric would stay at. Here is what I'm thinking, but you have to talk to Ronnie. He would probably have to testify to this, but it's super short. What does that say? It's super short, not a lot to it. He will need to tell Sky at the meeting next week. Upon information and belief, just like they say, a year prior to Eric's death, Ronnie was over watching football one Sunday, and Eric and Ronnie were chatting about Eric's Mexico trips. Eric told Ronnie he gets pain pills and fentanyl from Mexico from the workers at the ranch. Not to tell me because I would get mad, because I always said he just gets high every night and won't help take care of the kids. There are pictures in my phone of Eric passed out on the floor or in the chair. Ronnie should have texts from Eric talking about getting high as well. Eric told Ronnie he keeps them in an allergy pill bottle in his work truck so I wouldn't find them. Ronnie never told me about the conversation. Eric finally told me and asked if Carmen could get some. All right, now we're on page 2. So Eric never wanted, was on page 1, anyone to know he had an issue, especially get caught. He always wanted Kouri to go down for him. And now Kouri's talking about Kouri. When they traveled, Eric would put his drugs in Kouri's bag at the airlines right before they boarded. That way, if they were caught, Kouri would get in trouble, not him. Once they got to wherever they were going, Eric would pull the drugs out of her bag and it would cause a huge fight. She was pissed he would risk her going to jail for his drug use. He just would laugh about it. Eric couldn't ruin his image that he had drug issues, so he would do whatever he had to. Kouri has never done any type of pills, didn't like them. Rarely would she consume THC, only if Eric begged her because it was a special occasion. Reword this however he needs to make the point, just include it all. The connection has to be made with Mexico and drugs. Ronnie will have the messages to prove Eric confided in him about getting high. It can be short and to the point, but has to be done upon information and belief. LOL. They never found pain pills or fentanyl in my house because he hid it in an allergy bottle in work truck, and Cody emptied out work truck within a week, so they were never found. Page 3, when you talk to Ronnie about this, meet up with him in person. I worry sometimes your house and phone are bugged. Maybe drive down to SL and meet him after work without Bree. Sky has to make the connection between Eric and Mexico because that makes the most sense in her mind. If it's Ronnie's information and belief about the conversation over football, she can use that as a connection. Tell Ronnie don't overanalyze it. It was a quick 2-minute conversation, LOL. Tell him I need him to do this. Bring me home, and then we will get those damn bitches. Also, please text Lotto or call. Tell him do not text me anything about us doing things together ever, like church, skiing trips, nothing that puts us together. It doesn't look good. We're so close to the end. Let's push through. Have the conversation with Ronnie before he meets with Sky. Then tell him to tell Sky at the meeting about the conversation. Hang in there. We're almost there. Love you to the moon. Take vague notes of all this so you remember before you walk the dog. Page 4. I saw a commercial yesterday, Utah Mortgage Relief. Google them, please. It's for people behind on their mortgage. Can you see if they can help at all on Marissa's house, please? We have to get hers, yours, and Chelsea's taken care of ASAP. Try to go to that place in Kansas. What about asking Lotto to do a loan solely in his name and not have you on there? I know he can do a home equity line of credit on his house in Hideout. Not sure if he would, but I know he has like $1 million in equity. Maybe he just doesn't know about a HELOC, home equity. If he wants to help me, taking care of these loans is most important. I don't give a shit about the Yotels. I don't know what the Yotel is. All right, remember I told you one way to get at Katie is going through my phone and finding a picture of her girls, even with the boys. Print 15 copies and send them out anonymously to different media companies. Obviously, don't email the pictures so it's not traceable. She would be livid if it got out to the public. You would just have to do it sneaky and be careful. She would try to trace it back to you. If not, no worries. Sky is having my girls do the first interview with Good Morning America. Please tell Chelsea to bring up that he hasn't been to church in the 13 years she has known him, and Eric would brag to her about how much he drank and did pills in high school. Tell Kelsey to say Eric always wanted Kouri to go down for him. For example, he would put drugs in her suitcase when we would travel together, so if anyone got caught, it was Kouri. He would put it in her bag right before they left the house so Kouri didn't know. Then we would land wherever. Eric would take them out of her bag and Kouri would be pissed and they would argue about it. Tell Kelsey to say how Eric didn't care and would just laugh about it and say, well, I can't get in trouble, as if it was okay that I got in trouble. Have Selma talk about Eric in Spain not being able to drink, so he was looking for drugs the entire time, and explain the drink the waitress gave him and how I called his doctor and went to the pharmacy immediately. Have Allie talk about how the sisters have always been jealous of me because anything they could do, Kouri could do better. Being a mom, college, stay-at-home wife until she built $1 million company, a nice house, car, everything she had, they wanted. This comes down to jealousy, money, and Eric's partying that they don't want to acknowledge, and sadly, an accidental overdose. Lastly, don't forget to work on the gun receipts. We want to file charges and let the prosecutor not do anything about it to use in our defense. Will you buy a box of Crest White strips? Open them up, put them in an envelope, and have Sky give them to me. You can tell her what's in the envelope. I'm sure she won't care. I'll make sure they can't be found in my cell. My teeth are yellow from so much coffee and tea all day. I love you, I love you, I love you. Hang in there. We're getting there slowly. You're the best mom in the whole world. I'm so lucky to have you. So there you have it, folks. There's the 6-page part of a book that was found in the jail cell that she claimed to have been writing, or is this a 6-page letter that she was instructing her mom to give to the brother so that he would know exactly how to answer? Let me know in the comments what you think, if you did watch it today, and if you think that she's guilty or not guilty. Thanks for tuning in.